What up, YouTube? You feel strength welling in your body. It's your boys, Detroit Love, P-Dubs Arcade Love, Michael B. the Game GD, and Nostalgia with another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes. Friday night just got live.
Hey everybody, what's up?
What's
going on?
Well, guys, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is it's Friday night. We're going to try to have some fun. The bad news is we don't know where P-Dubs is.
We actually have no idea where P-Dubs is.
No clue. He could be asleep. He could be at work still. He could be in the drive-thru at Arby's. We have no clue.
He could still be there at the bar from St. Patty's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Well, he is Irish. And that goes on for a couple weeks.
So what are we supposed to do without P-Dubs to leave?
I think we just wait until he shows up because he will be so mad if we do the show without him.
That's true. So we should just do some small talk.
Honestly, guys, no one put in the comments that the show is not good without P-Dubs because he gets real salty about that.
Or don't say that it's better without P-Dubs either. He gets very salty about that.
Basically, if you say anything, he's going to be upset.
Right. And don't say that Dick is running people's homes either. He's going to really be upset about that.
Carl, you got to wait and make sure that we're at least 90 seconds into the show before you say those words. Otherwise, we get demonetized now.
Right. It's okay. Who needs money?
Thankfully, we had the 90-second intro.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. I didn't realize that.
Is that him? No.
Nope. No P-Dubs. But P-Dubs sent me the well play toy. I'm sorry, New Waves toys. Dragon's Lair.
Oh, the Replicade. Yeah.
Yeah,
Replicade.
Yeah. And that thing is really well made. So I've been playing around with that for the week here. And I'm pretty impressed.
Carl, is that your first time getting a New Wave Toys device?
Yeah. Well, I have the change machine charger thing. So I have that, and I have the Zotar thing on order.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the first actually Replicade cabinet that I've had. And so I've had that for about a week and been playing around with it. And I mean, the level of detail is really awesome. I think I still prefer the size of the numbskull.
Oh, you're crazy.
Come on,
Yeah,
did you know that
You're wacky.
Did you know you can open the coin doors?
Yeah, I couldn't get the coin door open. I don't know, I was fiddling with that. I did get the back open where you got the player back there, but I didn't want to break anything. I'm like, I know this thing opens, but I could not get it opened at all. But
they're pretty snug. But they are cast iron. Like they're
it's a real cast iron door. So the level of detail is just pretty awesome. So I'm definitely impressed. I cannot say that. But when I put them next to my numbskull, it's like putting my Killer Instinct Pro next to a Arcade1up 3/4 scale without the riser. So it's the size difference is pretty extreme. I can't say I don't like the size of it. I think I like both of them. I think are really nice. And like I've said before, they've never made the same exact cabinet, so you can compare one to the other. But definitely, it's definitely a well-built cabinet without a doubt, and I'm pretty impressed with it.
Well, I think you're absolutely insane to think anything other than the New Wave Toys products being like the best small-scale arcade machines on the market.
So, guys, it's actually a good thing that we started talking about New Wave Toys out of nowhere with no prodding, because we've actually got New Wave Toys on the docket to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about the surprise announcement this week. They showed an image of what was clearly a Midway cab, but somehow it's a Capcom cab. So we're getting Ghosts and Goblins and Ghouls and Ghosts. They're doing another Capcom thing. This is very similar to when they did 1942, 1943, this time just from the Ghosts and Goblins series. Mm-hmm. Let me know your guys' thoughts, and I want to hear from you guys in the chat as well. What do you think of this announcement from New Wave Toys? Obviously, they're an excellent product. Their attention to detail is off the charts. But do you think this is like an interesting choice for the game, or do you think they should have went something different? Does Ghosts and Goblins do it for you?
Can I start?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I don't know that I like. I mean, the design of the cabinet is what the design of the cabinet is. It's kind of a boring looking cabinet, but I do love the game, as challenging as it is. So I'm really excited that they went with this title, just because it's a game that I actually really like. Um, the what you mentioned, like the accuracy and like the attention to detail, and if you actually scroll up a little bit, Mike, I'm sure some people have already talked about this, but have you noticed that it doesn't say in their marketing right up at the top, it says Ghost in Goblins, not Ghosts in Goblins?
Ah,
That's actually the same marketing mistake that Capcom did when they were promoting the game with the original flyers.
wow. I didn't know
So
that.
like even when you get down to like the tiny little details, New Wave Toys has always done justice.
Yeah,
So
and
this
I
I just think is pretty sick.
yeah, and I think again they take it up a new level each time they put a cabinet out, and so I like the idea of the full power cable. So now you
Yeah.
actually have a power cable. I like the coin collection box now because they giving you the coins before, but it's like what do I do with these coins? But now you can actually insert them into the cabinet and they get collected in the collection box. So that is a new level of authenticity. So I really dig this. Like you said, it's not the most glamorous looking cabinet, but by far it's gotten the closest to reality as you can possibly get with this thing. So I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen. But it's
Yeah,
a very
so
difficult game to play.
there's a lot of new and fun features being added this time around. We've got the new coin op feature. So they've always had the light up buttons on the coin door that you could actually press to coin in, but we always get that little tiny bag of the tokens or coins from New Wave Toys. You can actually put them into the slots now to coin into the game. I thought that was super dope. Like you mentioned earlier, it's going to be a coin collection box. Also, I'm really excited about this new reflection reduction technology. I said in my video earlier concave screen, but I actually meant convex, and I said the wrong thing because I'm an idiot. So it's a convex screen overlay that they're using to recreate the CRT filter. It looks like we're getting new reflection reduction technology, because that was kind of the critical complaint a lot of people were making about that new screen feature. Was it was super reflective and distracting from the gameplay. So I'm interested to see how this is going to play out. Overall, like, these are beautiful cabs. Obviously the side art is a little lacking. Capcom was mainly conversion cabs. For the people saying that's a midway cab, it's because these were all conversion cabs.
Mhm.
So obviously the way Capcom sent out their kits, they sent out the marquee, the bezel, the control panel, and then just a sticker to brandish on the side of the cabs to give it life. But it's a very plain cab in that aspect. Everything else about it, though, is beautiful, so unique, and it's always such a treat when you go into an arcade and actually see one of these cabinets. It's an oddity. So it's so cool that New Wave Toys are releasing this for us as well.
Mhm. Now it's interesting that we didn't get any like proper product shots. Everything's been renders so far. So it makes me curious about whether or not they actually have a working prototype with all of the new features. Because even with like the Zoltar trailer, like you got to see it. You didn't really hear anything, but you at least got to see the actual device.
Yeah.
So that they release this without any like real world renders, it's kind of it's an interesting choice. Maybe they weren't ready for that, but they still wanted to announce the game anyways. But I don't know. I'm excited for this one. I think this one's going to be great.
It would be slick if that power cable could actually plug into that charging cable on the back, on that
Well,
charging.
well, Carl, there's a little hole there, and you know, I'm trying to be more PC tonight, so I'm sure something sticks in that little hole. Nostalgia's used to putting his stuff in little holes. The gas station bathroom. He said one time that was glorious.
Well, glory is certainly a word I would choose. Yeah.
Now, is this a game that you guys play? I mean, are you guys any good? I can probably get to my maybe the second screen, possibly the third
hmm
screen.
When you
Well,
say
lose my
screen, what do you
armor. I'm
mean by
pretty
screen? Do you mean like
the
in the
board,
first stage, the first
the
board?
stage, the third stage, or
So regularly I can get to the I guess the fourth board, you would call it, the second, after the first level I can get to the, oh geez, what's it called, second restart point. on level 2, the restart point on level 2, right before you go up that concrete building with the I forget what they're called, like the ogres that spit down at you. That's the tough part, and I can make it through that no problem. But after that, there's this like wicked jump you've got to make after you make it through the mess that's the concrete jungle, and you got to make this wicked jump to get to the boss. And I just fall apart for some reason at that all the time. So that's about as far as I can get. Now I have beat the game on the NES. Arcade, I have not been able to do it with Ghosts and Goblins.
And I believe the arcade version never ends. It just starts all over again. It's like, I need some more quarters from you. So let's just start this over again. But yeah, it's a very difficult game. I've played both versions, obviously, over the years, but it's never been a game that I'm like, let me get this guy some quarters, because that thing eats quarters like worse than RoboCop.
Goofyfoot says the NES does not count. Hold on now. I'm trying to figure out where my mouse is. The NES doesn't count. Come on, Goofyfoot. That's not fair.
I might agree with Goofyfoot on this one. There's a big difference between the NES version and the arcade version.
Oh, guys, we have an update on where P-Dubs is. Apparently, he's in the garage cranking out a stander-upper. He'll be right with us. Anyways, I think this is neat. It definitely caught me by surprise. This wasn't on my radar for New Wave Toys to release, so it's an interesting surprise. Not necessarily a game I was demanding they make, but there is a demand for it. I mean, you guys all remember how apeshit the home arcade community went when that Countercade Ghosts and Goblins showed up at one of those toy fairs in one of the unreleased product pages. People are like, oh man, I can't wait to get my hands on a Ghosts and Goblins Countercade. In my opinion, this is a better version of that.
Unless you actually want to play it on a regular basis.
Oh, Carl, you're so critical, Carl. Why don't you want some cool decorations?
A countercade you can play as a regular arcade cabinet.
It is more comfortable, yes.
Right. These tiny things, that while they are playable and they run like the real thing, they're not really designed for you to play on a daily regular basis. So so if now you wouldn't want these and they didn't play right at all. So it is fantastic that it looks like the real thing, it plays like the real thing. So no doubt about it. But obviously bigger is better. You guys would know that.
I wouldn't.
It's true, but
Nostalgia's wife wouldn't either.
Yep.
But now, so the thing I said yesterday in my live video, the difference between Numbskull and New Wave Toys is a Numbskull sticks to the real. This is exactly the authentic cabinet. New Wave Toy takes it to a new level while giving you the ability to put HDMI out, right? Hook up to another sound source. So those are things that are pretty cool to have, especially since the thing is so small. You can actually hook it up to your TV and hook it up to your sound system and all these things. So it takes that cabinet to a whole new level. And if that's what a thing that you would enjoy doing, by far it goes. It's a pretty good product.
Well, and not only do they let you plug it into a TV or a different audio source,
plug in your new controller.
That's right. You can plug. It's got USB ports in the back, so you can plug in a controller, and you can actually use this almost like a little game-specific console if you actually want to play it on a bigger TV.
Yeah, it's like having a Raspberry Pi that you can hook up to your own source and play.
Yeah. So, if the Raspberry Pi was limited to a single game, yeah,
it could be if that's what all you know how to set up.
Yep.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. So it takes it to a different level of just recreating the original cabinet. And the sound on it is fantastic. I can tell you that. That little thing for the speaker to be on the back on this Dragon Slayer. I mean, it sounds incredible, and it's going away from you. So I don't have anything bad to say about the cabinet at all. So I couldn't imagine this being any different.
Well, awkward silence
done?
there.
Are you guys done? Carlo says these cabs are cool ASF, but not for me. A lot of people feel that way too, Carl. A lot like what you said, where the fact they're so small, not everybody's into them. It's definitely a very niche market. But the one thing I always say is they do such an amazing job. I would love to see New Wave take a crack at making a 3/4 or even, kind of like an XL replica cab. This is the company that would do it, but Jesus Christ, would it ever cost a ton of money?
Yeah, and if you're a fan of arcade and you have space in your game room and want to be able to decorate it, I mean, what else better could you have to decorate your arcade?
Oh,
a replica.
guys, P-Dubs is here. Thank God Dr. Freeman was about to have a coronary.
But we got P-Dubs. We got feedback coming in on your
Sorry.
on your end.
Yeah, sorry. Hey, what's up?
Now we got to start all over. What up, YouTube? It's your boys, and we're all here.
Sorry, I'm a little late, everybody.
You were asleep?
Huh? No, I was in the garage.
Oh,
Stand her upper, baby.
I was in the garage watching videos.
Mm-hmm. We know what type of videos those
art
are.
films?
Somewhere artistic. Oh,
With very poor acting.
yeah.
That's the best kind.
Yeah.
Anyways, P-Dubs, we just covered the New Wave Toys, Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts and Goblins release. Pretty cool. That's the next release for them. I don't know. The community seems pretty happy about it. So moving on. You miss New Wave Toys. You snooze, you lose. I don't know something that rhymes with jerk, so we'll just move on.
Okay. What's next?
You're the boss, man. We've just been waiting for you to show up because we don't want Dr. Freeman to lose it.
I just got here, bro.
All right, well, let's move on. We'll talk about our next topic. The big release in the video game world this weekend was Resident Evil 4. Anybody else here pick it up? I picked it up, but unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to do anything except for play the update game
torn.
yet. You're torn?
Yeah, I'm torn. How's my mic? Is my mic okay?
Oh, yeah, you sound great.
Wonderful.
All right, good. I don't know if I should get it on PlayStation 5 or Xbox, so I'm torn on which one I should get it for.
Yeah,
that's half dozen of the other.
It's the toughest decision, but we're at a point in the video game landscape where, honestly, to notice a difference between the two games in terms of quality, you got to go to a website like Digital Foundry, where they'll break it down frame by frame to tell you which one has the better aspect, the better frame rate and stuff like that. I don't even pay attention to that anymore. So what I noticed was I've been buying a lot of games on PlayStation 5. So I was like, I haven't used my Xbox in a while. I'll just get it on Xbox. So that's what I went with.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to buy it this weekend. I just needed to decide if I want to. The PlayStation's here in my office. The Xbox is downstairs hooked up to the big TV. My wife loves, I remember we've talked about this, Resident Evil 4, my favorite Resident Evil game, played it time and time again. And my wife loves that game as well. She loves watching the game and stuff. So I think I'm more likely going to buy it on the Xbox. That way I can play it downstairs with her. She sits next to me, and her and I, because she knows as much about the game as I do, like, all the changes and additions they've made, because this is a deluxe edition. It's got like all new content in it and stuff. Like, maybe she can experience it as well. So, yeah, odds are probably going to get it on the Xbox. Although I kind of want I've been on this PlayStation binge lately, man, which is funny. I've been playing PlayStation 5 like crazy lately. I haven't touched my Xbox Series X in a long time, so this will give me a reason to. Yeah.
What are you going to do when Call of Duty becomes an exclusive, P. Diddy?
Oh, I don't care. Either way works. Works.
I'm the opposite. I haven't played my PlayStation 5 much since I got it. I was holding off originally playing it so my wife won, so it could be this old thing, and then secondly, I was going to play God of War with her, but she just haven't had any interest. I asked her, do you want me to hook it upstairs in the game, the family room? And she's like, I don't know. And my daughter had it for a while when she was here from school. So I haven't really played it. I've been playing my Xbox. I've been playing some Madden, actually Madden 2017, which is the 2016 year. But I don't know. This Resident Evil is an iconic game. Yeah. I had it, the original one. I played it. And those dogs would jump out. Used to terrify me. You go through the awkward movement of it. I don't know if
Oh,
I
you mean the
played-
tank controls for the first couple games? This is the first one, Resident Evil 4, where they moved away from that. Like, this is a complete departure from the original series. They went in a completely new direction, designed it from the ground up, and I'll never forget. It's funny because I bought the game today, and we're in the middle of a snowstorm here. When I first got the GameCube game, I actually got stuck at home with a snowstorm as well. I couldn't go into work at the time. I worked in a convenience store, and I called in and I was like, I'm not coming in. And they were like, well, the convenience store doesn't close. And I was like, I can't get out of my house. I live on a hill. The whole hill is full of snow. I'm going to stay home. And I actually stayed home and played right through Resident Evil 4 that night because of the snowstorm. So here we go again. So this is the first departure. And honestly, this is the last good Resident Evil game before 7 and Village, because 5 and 6 suck donkey balls, like absolute donkey balls.
One of my favorite things to do with Resident Evil 4 is after you beat the game, you can unlock what is that? The unlimited rocket launcher. And then you just play the game again just using the unlimited rocket launcher. It's so much fun. It's so worth it. It's worth that first playthrough just to get that and then do it again.
Well, Resident Evil 4 was a little bit too easy, like, honestly, because all you had to do for every single boss was right before the boss buy like the rocket launcher, and it was just one rocket to kill the boss unless there were 2 stages. So
yeah, well, we're here for the story, bro. It was an incredible story. Great acting.
The Plagueis?
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. All right, so that's Resident Evil 4. Have we talked about new wave toys yet?
We did, but Nostalgia didn't chime in on Resident Evil 4.
Well,
Nostalgia.
Tell you the
Forgot
truth,
you were here.
Before we get there, I want to tell you how the show started. We started kind of rudderless, telling everybody that you were missing, and we had no clue where you were. And then Carl just randomly started talking about the dragons Larry sent to you. So I figured that was a pretty good transition into the new wave toy stuff.
It is a good transition. Code Veronica was the best. Come on now.
Code Veronica was the tits. I'm actually disappointed.
I like the 4.
I'm disappointed they went to Resident Evil 4 before they remade Code Veronica. Like, that was the direction I would have went in.
Sorry, still
waiting to hear Nostalgia's voice because I like his voice.
Yep, waiting on Nostalgia here.
Well, I am.
Can you whisper it?
I feel.
I can totally whisper it.
I feel Resident Evil.
So yeah, Resident Evil 4. Pretty excited about it. Guilty secret. I've never completed the game. I've played through it a bunch of times, and I've started it over multiple times. I've never beat it. As I've said many times before, I'm part of the Capcom Creators Program, so they're going to be giving me a code to test out and play around with.
Have you ever beat your little pony?
I've definitely beat My Little Pony. Definitely beat my.
Now, are you talking about a game, or are you talking about a nickname for something else?
Well, I've done both, so it's irrelevant.
So you are a Capcom shill.
I am the biggest shill. But I'm going to be getting a copy of it for the Xbox, and I had the choice between PS5 and Xbox. I'm going to take it on the Xbox, I think.
So this is, I don't know if you guys have ever sat in on a board, but you got to go through this whole thing about where you talk about how, are there any conflicts of interest or different things like that. So from now on, whenever we have to tell about our conflicts of interest and make people aware of the connections we have with companies. So one time I was taking a dump in an Arby's bathroom, and I think Miyamoto was in the other stall taking a dump. So we went stall to stall, which may affect my opinion on Nintendo games. I just wanted to tell the fans that if I talk positively about Nintendo games, it's because I once went stall to stall with Shigeru Miyamoto.
Hey, we've all played battle shits with somebody before. It's all good, bro. It's all
well,
good.
And since we're talking about like full disclosures, the Super Game Room Dudes is sponsored by Nestle Pure Life. They now have 0.4 parts per million fluoride ion, and it is an ozonated beverage. So go to your local grocery store, pick up Nestle Pure Life using discount code Nostalgia's the best to get 10% off.
Nestle Pure Life, check it out.
All right, guys, let's pivot over. Let's talk a little bit
So refreshing.
about the iArcade. iArcade released a new game in their game store today, but was this a win for them? We're going to talk about this right next. So they released a game called Rigid Force. Is it Redux?
Redux.
How do you pronounce it? Let us know in the live chat. Did anyone
Redux.
check this game out or hear the news? And what are your thoughts about this, gentlemen? Mike, you and I were chatting a little bit earlier about this.
Yeah. So, anyways, as soon as it basically got announced, you sent over a video to me, and I said, "This looks awesome." I went up, and some people were posting online. They were like, $14.99. It's a little bit steep." But shortly after that, notice came up that the game was actually on sale, 25% off at $11.24. It's a no-brainer. I picked it up. Haven't had a chance to play it yet, but excited to get into this. Probably tomorrow I'll have a chance to jump in.
All right, let's get some fan feedback here in the live chat. Scott here says he thinks it's a solid release for iArcade. Papa Brad's Gaming says it's an excellent game. Mitchie B says it's a good shooter. Gelga Guy says, man, it's another shooter. Yep, it is. They definitely have an abundance of shooting games on the iArcade, whether it's top-down or side-scrolling shooting games. R Stout says he has it on his Steam Deck and iiRcade now as well. So look, he owns it on multiple platforms. He must really like the game.
I'm holding out for Vanguard. So
Whoa, holy shit. Stop the presses. Pliskin's run is saying something positive about the iArcade. Pliskin, what happened? See, there's a game out there for everybody. Pliskin usually is very picky about the games he wants to see on the iArcade. And for him to give it his stamp of approval, that's pretty cool in my opinion.
Are you sure it's the real Pliskins? There's a lot of imposters out there lately.
Yeah. Garage Gamer says they need more shooters, I think. Yeah, if they could add just a couple of more, that would be great as well. iArcade does... Wait, hold on. I love this. I think he's trying to say iArcade does know there are other genres, right? I think that's what he was trying to type. But there you go. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
So yeah, it's nice to see iArcade diversifying their games library like this. So the funny thing is too, like we've been waiting patiently for iArcade to release Operation Wolf or something to go with the light gun games. And I mean, you see something come up, like I think 19K Fox mentioned it there a couple of weeks ago. They released the game Ashura Blaster. So they're releasing a game called Blaster. That's not a gun game. It's almost like they're trolling us. And we're getting all these shooters. Everybody calls them shoot 'em ups, but they're, vertical scrolling shooters or horizontal scrolling shooters. The shooters keep coming up, but no gun games. So I think iArcade, I don't know if Operation Wolf's the only gun game they got, but I mean, shit or get off the pot. If Operation Wolf's not approved, put something else up there. Get Mad Dog McCree, man. He's not doing anything.
Yeah, so the way I look at it is we've had this conversation time and time again with all you awesome viewers out there. This is the kind of stuff I want to see on the iArcade. Mm-hmm. Modern games. This game is only 5 years old. This game, Metacritic-wise, if you guys check reviews, average reviews out there, 7 out of 10. That means a lot of people out there think it's a decent game. They don't think it's an amazing game, but the game has performed well, and there's plenty of people out there that enjoy it. Modern game, I like what's his name said. It's got modern graphics, modern music, modern sound, uses all 6 buttons on the arcade, gives you an arcade experience. And this is the kind of stuff I wanted to see from iArcade. I wanted them to be kind of like your Steam Deck iArcade or your Switch Deck arcade. You know what I mean? Like, because all those other games, the classic games, yeah, it's nice when iArcade adds those to their platform. But then again, are they absolutely necessary to set themselves apart and make themselves different? Personally, I think this was a great addition for iArcade, and I'm going to be checking this game out myself. I think this is a nice way to go for them. When they release stuff like Ashura Blaster, which is, last week, it's a top-down classic arcade game. But seriously, was it something that you just even considered pulling out your wallet for? Like, should I buy this game? Like, when you see something like this, it actually makes me go, I think I want to check it out. You know what I mean? This looks interesting. Can this be a good arcade experience? You know what I mean? Like, the more modern games, modern arcade games, I think is what iArcade should be doing. Like but we've been hearing for 2 years how powerful the hardware is, but not many games actually optimize and use that hardware. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. This, you guys know, we do this stuff all the time. Whenever I see like a more modern something like this get released, I get a little more excited for the iArcade. Versus last week, Ashura Blaster. I'll be honest, guys, I was like, seriously,
Yeah,
that's the best we got iArcade. Like Ashura Blaster, I could play that on AtGames. Who knows? Arcade1up will probably release it in the future when they run out of shit to do. You know what I mean? It's like Ashura Blaster, really? You know what I mean?
Ashura Blaster is better than Nazca and Nazca.
That's true. But still, you know, there you go. But that's where I'm at with it. This is the kind of stuff I want them to be releasing myself personally. You guys let me know if you disagree in the live chat. All opinions are welcome. Tyler Voldemort's here with a $2 super chat. Finally, Game Genie tells the truth. It's about time. It's about time. Skynet says they're all awesome. G.I. Joe says it's not just a quarter either. Is it AAA? No, dude, that conversation is so 2022. We're beyond that conversation. Yes, I agree with Console Fanboy completely. The only real criticism I could give this game release for iArcade is the fact that it's another shooter, and there's just so many shooters. If they can get like a modern shooter that's 5 years old, why not get something else? Get like a beat 'em up game that's 5 years old. Go get Double Dragon Neon or something. You know what I mean? Or go get
They should get Russian Attack. That's what I'm holding up. Russian Attack or Green Beret. That's my game. That would sound great with their speaker sound system.
You know what I'd really like to see? I'd like to see a new game come to iArcade that somehow blends genres, that it's both a shmup and a ladder game. I think that would be a perfect melding.
Yeah. But go get like, you know, fighting games that are only like 5-6 years old. You know what I mean? Like, go get them. You know what I mean? Like, get some other stuff on there. You know what I mean? Besides shooters. But that's really the only negative thing I can say about it. Okay, so that's pretty much the big news for iArcade. There was no other news, right? I didn't watch did they do a show today?
Yep. Directional shooting.
What do you mean, directional shooting?
That was the name of the show. I don't know what it means. I couldn't watch it.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Did they do a show today, guys? And did they say anything else? Did they do a live show, or was it pre-recorded? Or
yes, they did a live show called Directional Shooting.
Okay. And did they give any more information?
No, the whole purpose of the show was direct you to the new game, so you stopped asking questions about the light guns.
It was the old switcheroo.
The old switcheroo.
The old switcheroo. Yes, absolutely, Console Fanboy. Too many shooters on the iArcade, but still a decent win for them, in my opinion. So hopefully they can release more stuff like that in the future, because I always envision the iArcade being, like we've talked about, your Steam Deck arcade type game without the need to plug in that additional device into your arcade, right? You know what I mean? Like, what's great about AtGames is, yeah, you can plug in your devices and run them on the arcade machine, but you still have to plug in another device on the arcade machine. You still have to buy that other device. You still have to buy that $500 Steam Deck. You still got to buy that Nintendo Switch. When all you want to do is play that one game that costs, what, $10? You know what I'm saying? So to be able to play the games without having to connect anything, ease of use. Remember, guys, that's how Arcade1up conquered this market, because all you do is hit the power button and you can play a game. They make it so easy, right? Whereas AtGames, we all had to go to the Legendary Academy hosted by Cool Toy to teach us how to use our arcade machines. I mean, seriously, it was a big learning curve. You know what I mean? So this, that's what I want to see from my arcade. Turn it on, play some modern games, turn it off, have a great day. Bye. That's what I want.
And I want to make a comment on the Bronix comment here. Some of us just likes to play on the console, to stand up at a cabinet. And some of us like to play sitting on the couch. Somebody like to do it portable. So it's different ways to play these games. So you can't say just because something exists. Heck, all of these games exist on the console or on a different method to play. But some of us like the cabinets. So I don't have a problem with them making games that you can play somewhere else on their cabinet. I think we're all just saying we're just hoping the quality and we get more modern games to come out to play on this particular cabinet, because we have so many other cabinets with the other type of games.
Yeah, I really agree with what Carl's saying here. And like people saying, oh, well, you can just play that game on Switch. Sure, you can play it on Switch with a controller in your hands while sitting on your couch. But there's some games that just fit and would be perfect for the home arcade format. And that's why it's so much fun to play something like this or Wizard of Walls. Wizard of Walls, if I was home playing that on a controller, big deal. It's a cool game, but the fact that you're playing in an arcade game and it's this, love letter to the original Wizard of War, or another one will be Saturn, bringing those Robotron vibes. Just playing that on the computer or console, because I got it on the computer, I don't have as much fun as sitting there dual sticking it on my iiRcade.
Yep. Good stuff there. Good stuff. I saw a great comment in the live chat. This was pretty funny. David, can you plug your iiRcade into your AtGames? That would be funny. Run your iiRcade via OTG mode on the AtGames. There you go.
Nostalgia, how have you not tried that?
I've never even thought to try that.
So Dr. Seuss, the next pinball pack, which is going to have 2 pinball games for AtGames, guys. Let's pivot over to AtGames. That's going to be released on March 31st, guys. So 1 week from today, next weekend, you'll be able to enjoy 2 more Dr. Seuss pinball games on your AtGames Legends Arcade family of products. That's the expected release date. So there you go, man. I'm personally excited because I like what they did with the pinball pack, man. I enjoyed that first Dr. Seuss pinball pack, except for the Cat in the Hat. Isn't that funny? I really liked the Grinch and Fox and Socks, but Cat in the Hat, man, I just couldn't get into that. And I've never once unlocked the upper level in that game. Like, there's an upper level with more flippers and shit to do. Like, I've never even gotten the ball up there.
You gotta get good, buddy.
That's never one of trying. Like, that game is a ball drainer. Literally.
I only play real pinball now. I have no patience for this virtual stuff.
Look at you, Mr. Godzilla Big Shot. When are you gonna post some videos of Godzilla, man?
Tomorrow night I'm gonna do a gameplay live stream. Been taking my time with it. Now I want to get it organized and set up properly. I gotta have my correct overlay and I want my cameras done just right.
Yeah. I gotta say, Mike, your pinball gameplay presentation has so greatly improved. Do you guys remember it used to be an over-the-shoulder boulder holder camera, and Mike would play with 2 flippers at all times. You'd always hit both 2 flippers. And now look at Mike. You got over 115 million on Godzilla today.
161.
161. Back up. Watch out.
It's not that high, actually.
Now you got the Stern Insider, right?
Yep.
So is your Godzilla score higher than Kongs R Us and console kits?
No, Kongs R Us on premium, because there's different scores on different tables, because even though it's still Godzilla, both tables are very different. That's why I got the premium instead of just the pro. So Kongs R Us premium score is up around, I think he's 243. So I got a ways to go to beat him. I don't know what console kits. I haven't checked console kits real score yet, but the other night he scored 130. So I'm glad I got over that. And then our buddy Conti, Conti Dinda, he sent me his top score is 525. So that's what I'm aiming towards. I want to catch up.
You sure it wasn't photoshopped? You got to be careful.
No, 525. Honestly, I've been watching a ton of gameplay videos to try to understand the rules. This is all really new to me. Obviously, I've been playing virtual pinball, but anybody who's watching me play virtual pinball, I'm I don't give a shit about the rules. I just whack the ball around and have fun. I don't really know. I want to learn how the table goes myself. But with real pinball, I'm really trying to understand Godzilla and how it works. So,
for a lot of pinball tables, if you don't understand the scoring mechanism, you can be hitting that ball can stay in play forever.
And you get no points.
And it means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So knowing how to score, if that's what the objective is key.
And pinball's wacky too. I've been watching a lot of pinball YouTube lately too, and I started watching Straight Down the Middle, and hearing people describe did you beat the game? And I'm like, what do you mean you beat a pinball game? But pinball games actually have stories and campaigns that you got to get through. So there is actually a definitive ending, like a video game. And then once they're done that, they just, score chase. But there is a story and a campaign that you get through. All that's fascinating to me. I was like, I'm just whacking silver balls around.
Excuse me. And so
Oh, Carl, you ruined it.
this is fine. It was too dead. But Michael B, so where did you end up putting this thing? Because I know this thing is huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
But you found a spot obviously for it. Is this the permanent spot, or are you just like, I'm tired of moving this thing around for now, so this is where it's going to be?
No, this is the permanent spot. So I'm in the process of clearing out a section of my arcade, and the room where my pinball machine is now used to be my former game room in the basement that I turned into storage to build the arcade. So I'm now taking the storage out, putting that in the half of the arcade, and then the pinball table is going to be there. I'm taking all my modern gaming stuff down from the living room and our big couch. That's going in this room as well, and my 2XL cabs. And then the living room upstairs, family room that had all this stuff in it, becomes the playroom for my kids. So big game of Tetris. Hopefully I'm going to get to do a bunch of that this weekend and move some stuff around.
Awesome.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Really quickly, the only other news from AtGames is they obviously we got Dr. Seuss coming out March 31st next weekend, but they did add 5 more games to ArcadeNet.
Whoa! You gotta hype it up more than that. This is the biggest news of the week. Come on, are you ready? Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Hold on to your asses, because AtGames is coming at you with the straight fire. 5 new games coming to ArcadeNet. P-Dubs, tell them, brother.
River Raid, Cliffhanger, the Cliffhanger game, Stadium Hero. Is this hype enough for you, Mike?
Oh, so exciting.
Fire, baby. Fire.
Yeah, Cliffhanger, Edward Randy. I said Edward Norton. I was thinking of the actor.
Cliffhanger, Edward Norton.
All right. So 5 games added to ArcadeNet: Crude Buster, Freeway, River Raid, Stadium Hero, and Cliffhanger. Get on your AtGames now.
Get
Cancel
nuts.
the stream.
Get crazy. The
Cancel
best
the
in home arcade. ArcadeNet.
Sorry, nostalgia does it hurt your feelings when we talk bad about arcade?
Nope.
You design the whole lobby system, right?
Well, I had a hand in that, but no. That was a project I worked on with AtGames. The lobby system. I'll certainly take fault for that.
No, I've said it once, and I will say it a million times. ArcadeNet could be one of the absolute coolest things in this community, but it's just a matter of they're like, it's if you build it, they will come, and that's not really the mentality here. You can't just put this amazing or concept out there and be like, we don't need good games. People just want to play stuff. We just got to put stuff on it. It's like what Netflix is becoming now. They've lost all the major titles because there's like a million different streaming services. And they were like, yeah, we'll just put like whatever movie we find on there. People will just watch it. I mean, if it's available, they'll just play it. That's the way it works.
That's kind of true.
There's something else with AtGames I was mentioning before the show, Mike. Just a little teaser here. I don't know if P-Dubs knows this, but I managed to get AtGames to send me an engineering sample of their new 3588 board.
Oh.
And I have it right here. Engineering sample. It took a little bit of work to get it working. It was not fully functional when I got it. It's still also not fully functional, but it's at least launchable.
Just show people what you got there. So this is the new board that's on the AtGames.
This is, like I said, it's an engineering sample. So this may not actually be the
Is
final.
that for the 4K arcade machine or a pinball machine?
No, this is for the arcade machine. This is the one that I was most interested in.
Can you like hold it up and not spin it so I can look at all? Okay, we got HDMI. Okay, so those are the ports in on the front.
Power, volume, up and down.
All right, got USB. All right, got a couple of all right. We got 2 HDMI going on back there. All right,
One of them is HDMI in, and the other one's HDMI out.
All right. HDMI out. Hey, double check and see if we can connect that to just a random 4K monitor at the store. Remember, we've gone back and forth about that recently. AtGames said
you will not get 4K output on that HDMI, I don't think. I haven't tested that, but I'm pretty sure this is not a 4K output. It's not a 2.1.
Nostalgia.
Gotcha.
Restalgia,
Yes.
just come clean with everybody. Restalgia didn't want to admit to this, but we were talking about it ahead of time. That's not an engineering sample. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the finished AtGames racing cabinet. Show it once again.
This is the new racing cabinet that's going to be coming out. But
All right.
no, it's interesting because there is quite a bit that you can do with this. And honestly, what I'm going to do with this is all the naughty stuff. So I'm going to look at seeing what exploits are there, what we can do with it, what kind of games you can run. Are you limited to like ROMs, or can we get things like full-fledged games running on this thing? And I can't make any promises, but aside from like console stuff, the first thing I'm going to try to get running on this is the Steam version of Shovel Knight. I'm going to see if I can get Shovel Knight running on this thing, because I think that'd be kind of cool to play natively on the AtGames machine. So I guess keep an eye out for that.
Mike, you know what the phone call is going to be Sunday night from Steve to PK, right? You know, right? Pokemon Emerald runs great on this thing, man. PK, it's ready for launch.
Well, that's the thing. PK actually, when he said, he was like, it's an engineering sample. It may or may not work. You can take it. And I was like, okay. And he was like, just so you know, like, no support, no whatever. So I said, fine, no support. Then I do what I want. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what we can do. I'm going to see how much Pokemon we can get on there. Pokemon Red. There's Pokemon Blue. We can do Pokemon Yellow. There's Pokemon Fire Red. There's Pokemon Leaf Green. There's Pokemon Ruby. Pokemon Sapphire. There's just so many Pokemon games.
What about Silver and Gold?
We could do Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold.
Pokemon
We could do
Black.
Pokemon Heart
Oh,
Gold,
nostalgia.
Pokemon
I could
Soul
sit here and
Silver.
listen to you talk about Pokemon all day. But it then makes me think of the Bill Murray scene in Groundhog Day where he drops the toaster into the bathtub. So let's move on.
All right, so we got to talk a lot about Arcade1up stuff coming up right next. But real quick, guys, let's try and do this quickly because we got a lot we want to get to, and we only got about 30 minutes to do it. Game of the week. So the last 2 weeks, game of the week was Golden Axe, and for 2 weeks, I did not put the pinned post in our Facebook group, and nobody else jumped in to help me out so people could share their scores. But forget it. It was a terrible pick by Nostalgia to begin with. So we're going to vote on a new game of the week. Hope you guys have been thinking, chomping at the bit as to what the next game of the week is going to be. Start throwing some suggestions in the live chat. And while you guys are doing that, let's start with Nostalgia. Game of the week. What are you thinking, buddy? What do you got? What do you got?
I had not put any thought into it, so let's do something. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Here, come back to me.
All right. Detroit Love, you got one in mind? I know in Detroit Love it's probably a classic arcade game.
I'm going to go with Donkey Kong Jr.
Donkey Kong Jr. Good choice. Okay, Donkey Kong Jr. arcade, played on any platform you have access to it. What about you, Michael B?
The game.
It's an obscure arcade title. You wouldn't have seen it in many arcades. I'm going to suggest Galaga.
Oh, that's a great idea. I love Galaga. Who doesn't like Galaga? All right, so Galaga arcade. All right, cool. Nostalgia, you ready?
I think I'm ready now. Okay, so I'm going to do this just to piss Mike off, because it always pisses Mike off whenever I pick something that's not something he likes. I'm going to pick a PlayStation game, and it is going to be a high-score game. It's going to be a high-score game, Mike. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. You've got to get...
That's classic there, baby.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and you got to post your high score. Or your largest combo, I don't care, but that's going to be my choice. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, just because I could see Michael's his eye was twitching a little bit as I said it.
No, actually, Nostalgia, this is one of the times you actually picked a good game, you millennial piece of shit. You actually picked a well-renowned, critically acclaimed game, so good job.
All right, good stuff here. I was actually thinking of, because, Ghosts and Goblins, I was actually thinking of Ghosts and Goblins, man. But I don't know, that game is so rage-inducing. I wonder how high the scores would be that people would share.
Well, let's put it to a vote.
All right, Marble Madness it is.
Didn't you pick that like for like 3 weeks in a row now?
One day it's gonna win. One day it's gonna win. All right, let's do it, guys. So I'm gonna put the poll in the live chat. Let's get this done quickly. So get off your butts and start pressing your finger to the screen and vote for your game of the week. Is it going to be Donkey Kong Jr. Galaga? Is it going to be Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 or Ghosts and Goblins? Put it in the live chat. Make sure you vote. We'll leave that open for just a few minutes. Give you guys a chance to vote on game of the week, and make sure you join the Super Game Room Dudes Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, type in the search bar Super Game Room Dudes, and we're going to pop up. You join the group. You look for the pin post that I promise will actually be there this week, and post your high scores, and we'll share them and talk about you and all your greatness next week on the next episode of the Super Game Room.
Now, what's the challenge with Ghosts and Goblins? Ghosts and Goblins wins. Are we going points, or are we going how far you can get in the game? I think we should do points on 1 quarter, because that is a challenge, and there is like bonuses you can get throughout the game. So let's do points. Points on 1 quarter.
So if Ghosts and Goblins wins, guys, just a heads up, it'll be you play with 1 quarter, and when you die and your points are on the screen, just take a picture of that and post that in the group. So it's a 1 quarter challenge on Ghosts and Goblins. No cheaters, or not really cheaters, just no constant coin-in people. Yeah. Points on 1 quarter. I like that. I actually really like that you chose Galaga. Galaga's a great game. Everybody has access to it. It's on so many systems. There's so many ways to play it. And I usually can do Galaga and easily get to like level 15, you know what I mean? But after that is when it really falls to pieces for me. So getting to level 20 would be epic.
How do you know it's 1 quarter? Your scores don't carry over from quarter to quarter.
Oh, speaking of which, Mike, if Galaga wins, are they allowed to use Fast Fire Galaga mode, or does it have to be regular Galaga?
Regular ass Galaga. Come on.
Regular Galaga?
Regular ass Galaga.
Regular Galaga, guys. I would have picked Fast Fire because I'm cooler than Mike, and I'm a rebel. But I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel. All right, guys. Votes are coming in. We're going to leave that open for just another minute, and while that's coming in, anything else that's minor newsworthy? Anything else you guys want to mention before we get into the? I'm sure the Arcade1up will probably take 10, 20 minutes.
So the Texas Pinball Tournament or Texas Pinball Show is going on right now. A lot of first looks at some of the tables we've been talking about this past couple of weeks. Pulp Fiction's there. Galactic Tank Force, that absolute oddity, bizarro stuff with Kerry Hoskins is in it. I don't know if you knew that, Zohar. So Sonya from MK3 is the big bad in Galactic Tank Force, and there's a lot of other really cheesy acting. It looks amazing. But the big one I wanted to bring up was we got gameplay on Scooby-Doo this week, Spooky Pinball Scooby-Doo, and it actually looks like it's a pretty dope game.
We got some footage. Let's throw that up.
Yeah, can you pull that up?
Yeah. Straight down the middle, I think it was. We're playing it. They did a preview of it this week. So let me just bring it up. You guys,
while he's bringing it up, guys, it's over 200 people watching. We only have 96 votes, guys. Click that button, get your vote in. We currently have a tie with Galaga and Ghosts and Goblins. So vote, so we can have a game. Because right now we don't have a game yet. So let's vote, guys.
You could also pick Tony Hawk Pro Skater too, but
poor nostalgia with the lame. Nostalgia with the lame ass pick this week.
As I said that, I could see the number getting smaller and smaller.
You know what's funny is we always pick like arcade games, and you always pick some console game. It's pretty funny to me.
When I did pick an arcade game, it just happened to win. So maybe that's an indication that I do pick good games. They just have to be in sync with like our audience. Who knows?
Yeah. So
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
So what Console Fanboy needs to do is he needs to send Kerry Hoskins a Console Fanboy t-shirt and see if he could actually get her to wear it and take a picture of herself wearing it. That would be hilarious. I would love to see that. She's going to be in Cleveland, right? When we go to Cleveland?
Mm-hmm.
Man, we're going to look like a bunch of simps when we go up to her table.
Hey, Kerry Hoskins, I loved you in NBA Jam.
Nothing else matters. Just that NBA Jam appearance. All right. All right, Mike wants to share something, guys, and then we're going to get that poll closed down. So this is Scooby-Doo Pinball. Mike, take it away.
Scooby-Doo. Oh, I don't want the volume on. How do I turn that off?
It's
We
off
can't
on
hear
our end.
Perfect.
Can't hear.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is Scooby-Doo, guys, the new release from Spooky Pinball. I was a little hesitant when I first heard about this because I was hoping that it'd be more horror movie goodness after Halloween, but this game actually looks fantastic. All
Look
the
at that.
baubles and stuff. Oh yeah, it looks beautiful. And then upper playfield, they were explaining it's like takes up a third of the playfield, but it doesn't cover anything up. You still know what's happening underneath. I mean, this table looks absolutely incredible.
Mike, will this be pinball number 2?
No, or if this is pinball number 2, it'll also be divorce number 1.
Is this sold out, Adam? Adam, is it sold out already?
It might be through certain distributors, but like you can pick it up through Nitro Pinball here in Canada. So if you're Canadian, want to get your hands on Scooby-Doo, Nitro Pinball has it. I'm sure different distributors have it. It might be sold out directly through Spooky or whatever, but check your local distributor.
I love this comment by my boy MG. Just like Dr. Seuss Cat in a Hat, we're never getting to that upper deck anyway. It's a freaking myth. AtGames, how the hell do you get to that upper goddamn deck? I've been asking other people who play that game, and nobody knows how to get up there. I don't think
On Cat in the Hat?
Yeah, I don't think anyone has ever been up there.
I've beaten
ever.
Cat in the Hat.
But all right, yeah, get these guys. Go back to the table, Mike. Rewind.
P-Dubs, you can totally get to the upper deck. You just have to beat through the 3 or 4 levels before you can get to the upper.
All right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever.
Follow the game rules.
I'll play.
You got it.
I'll play Grinch any day, man. I love Grinch. You go through all the stories. But anyway, looking at this table, guys, I love the way this table looks, man. I think this table looks awesome. So many toys and fun and colors and things like. Oh yeah, look,
memorable characters from the cartoon.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo, man.
I think we all, except for Nostalgia, grew up watching Scooby-Doo.
I also
Nostalgia only watched Aladdin and Lion King.
And My Little Pony.
It's got the mystery machine on there. It would have been cool if they actually had little action figures in there instead of a little picture. But hey, I'll take it.
No, I definitely watched this show growing up too. So.
Wait a minute. Hold on. One point here. Speaking of that, are there no actual characters on the table?
Yeah, there was that one bad guy robot person.
Yeah, I know, but like,
you mean of like
Scooby?
the main character?
Of the
like,
game.
No. The it's all the bad guys on the table. The Scooby gang they're in the beginning of the playfield right there.
Yeah, I know they're on the artwork on the table. What I mean is, it would have been nice to have a couple of toys.
They're in the mystery machine, dude.
Dude, it's a picture. It's a sticker put on top of a plastic van.
I know what you're saying. The figurines.
There should have been a Scooby on here. There should have been a Shaggy on.
Oh, they
here.
had Scooby. Scooby's in the barrel. I saw Scooby in the barrel, so Scooby's definitely.
Yeah, Scooby is in a barrel hiding.
That's fine.
Yeah,
he's right there.
I guess if I want to see girls dressed like Velma, I just need to go to Nostalgia's TikTok. Ain't that right, Nostalgia?
That's exactly right.
So I know that one of the complaints,
he's in the barrel. Okay, I didn't see that.
One of the complaints that a lot of people are having is obviously not all the original voice actors came back. So like for example, what's his name? The dude, Jinky, Scooby, like Shaggy. Shaggy is actually played by Matthew Lillard because they didn't get the original voice actor back. So they got Matthew Lillard, and he does a pretty good recreation of the original voice. But I know my buddy Charlie Chuck was like, the voices are just going to drive me crazy. The table looks incredible, but the original voices, no deal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was Shaggy in the movies. He did okay.
Yeah, really good, okay. I thought.
All right, guys, I'm going to end the poll now. You guys aren't going to believe the winner here. Get your skateboards ready, Nostalgia. Jump on your skateboard and skate over to your arcade machine. You're playing Galaga this week. 34%, followed by Ghosts and Goblins at 30%. Donkey Kong Jr. 19, Tony Hawk 15. All right, guys, I absolutely promise that I'll get that post pinned to the top of our Facebook group. I want to see your Galaga high scores. There is no excuse for you not to participate. You have access to Galaga on every goddamn thing in your house. If you have a PC, a computer, an arcade machine, a console system, Galaga is everywhere. You have a way to play this game. Make sure you participate. There you guys go. All right, cool. And also, don't do fast fire mode. We're doing the honor system here. We're trusting that you're going to play standard version. So Galaga wins, Mike. Good choice. Good choice. All right. Arcade1up Deluxes. Still not up for pre-order, yet these things are showing up in Best Buys. I'm sitting here. I'm in the bathroom. I'm taking a shower. I'm trying to manscape some stuff. And all of a sudden I get text messages and photos from Biggie D. I'm like, is he about to send me some dick pics? Like, what is Biggie D doing? Because you never know with him. And he's sending me pictures at like 9 o'clock in the morning this morning. He goes, look, they're at Best Buy. I'm like, yeah, it's a box. But still, I find it hilarious that they actually have put these things out on the floor and they're not up for order yet. Oh man, it was so funny. Yep, Biggie D, I'm making fun of you, buddy. He texted me so early this morning. He's like, did you see it? Did you see it? They're out. They're out. Did you see it? He goes, this is big news. He actually texted me, this is big news. I told him, I said, this isn't big news. He's like, it's big news. Oh man, he was so hyped for these deluxe cabinets. But what's up with these deluxe cabinets, bro?
So Best Buy, some Best Buy locations have put them out early, but the street date apparently is officially on the 26th. I got a message from Zohar earlier to share that information with me, as well as who was it? Cornercade was here in the chat saying, guys, Sunday the deluxe cabs come out. You heard it here first.
Oh yeah, that's right. And so I was like, what is Biggie talking about? And then I looked on YouTube and the first thing that popped up was Cornercade's community post where he had the pictures. And I was like, wait a minute, these are the pictures that Biggie D just sent me. And so I messaged Biggie D. I go, did you get these photos from the Cornercade? He's like, yes.
Listen,
big news. Look at him. Big news. He's hyped. He's hyped.
You got to put big news on your thumbnails, or else people won't think it's big news.
You did the same thing today. I saw in your video today. You put big news on your
thumbnail.
I do
it. I do every now and then. I'll do a Friday news blast, and every single time it's big news. Or maybe next time, just to be different, I'll say huge news. Huge.
So the one question, and we're going to share it. So courtesy of the Cornercade. So shout out to him. Check out his YouTube channel. Subscribe. Click the buttons. Ring some bells. All that shit. We're going to share this picture that the Cornercade shared at a Best Buy in Wisconsin. What do you notice that's different about the Arcade1up Deluxes versus NFL Blitz, Simpsons, all that stuff? What do you notice that's different, guys?
The truncated size.
The box is not huge.
Did they remove all padding? Is everything just like loose in there?
No. So
how did they make this work?
So because it comes in two pieces, they don't need the full size of the box, because the box length was attributable to the 3/4 scale panel. But now where the panels are smaller, they can put it in a shorter box.
Say that part again. I'm sorry. I was responding to Paul in the
So
live chat.
before, the box was representative of the full length of the side panels for the 3/4 scale cabs. The deluxe cabs come in 2 halves. So now they don't need to have the box the entire length of the full 3/4 scale panel, because it's 2 smaller halves. So they can shorten the size of the box to represent the total size of the half panels.
One more time, Mike, for the
no, I'm good.
for the students who never, who capped out at geometry in high school,
But Mike, how exactly do they get it down to a smaller size box? So that doesn't make any sense.
Mike, some people did algebra 1, algebra 2, geometry. Some people didn't make it to calc or trigonometry. So can you break it down a little bit more simpler for me, please?
Let me explain it. So the old cabs were x plus y equals z. These cabs are x to the power of 23 divided by 75 multiplied by pi.
That sounds like they would be bigger than, Mike.
No, it's just simple arithmetic here, guys.
So that's how Arcade1up met the $4.99 price point, guys. They got rid of all the packing, less cardboard. And that cost savings is being pushed onto you as the consumer with a much smaller yet oddly heavier box for you to carry up and down stairs until your point of assembly. So there you guys go. Oh man, I crack it up. I don't know how they jam this thing in this little box. Carl, Is this possible? You're a big modding guy. How do they make this work, man? I don't believe Mike.
It's easier
Mike's
to sneak in the house this way. That's for sure. It's easier
Well,
to
do you
sneak
think they're
in.
going to include a battery in there?
I'm going to bring my countercade to Cleveland, so you guys can appreciate the battery powered countercade. Okay, and then we can put that discussion to bed finally.
Even though the cabs are now 2/3 scale, the boxes are 3/4 scale. There you go, Paul. Love it. Oh man, this is hilarious, guys. There's no other news except a box, so we're trying to really hype this box up, man. I really want people to be excited.
There is news. So like you got to be. You
There's
might not
news?
be excited, but people have been waiting patiently for these deluxe cabs to release. So the fact they're now out in
Yes.
public and we got information about the street date, people can get excited because they can finally pick these up. Again, I don't understand how Arcade1up operates, and they don't have an official reveal strategy or anything like that. They're just like, they're in Best Buy. They're just there. Going to be available on the 26th. So were they going to do a show? Were they going to announce it? Were they going to put a pre-order up on their website? What?
Nothing.
Yep.
They're going to pull the Nintendo card where they're like, hey, we've got Metroid Prime Remake coming out and you can buy it right now. And
But
it's
that
the
was
same
part
thing.
of a show. The
Oh,
announcement was on a show.
I know.
I got a funny story. So I've also been giggling because do you guys know who MCAP is? You guys know who MCAP is, right? So MCAP, he used to do the Basement Corner Arcade show with Rascal, and now Rascal's doing the
Shotgun Sean.
that gaming show with Shotgun Sean. MCAP is doing like pinball stuff. He's mostly doing stuff more on Twitch than YouTube. But he's been really pumped. If you guys don't know who MCAP is, go check him out on YouTube. What you call it? He has been so pumped and hyped to get an MK30th deluxe cabinet, right? And when these photos came out, he went to his Best Buy and it was there. It was right in front of him. He had it in his hands, but it wouldn't scan. So he was telling everyone about this in his Discord channel, which is one of my favorite Discord channels, is the MCAP Discord. And it wouldn't scan. It wasn't active in the POS system, like piece of shit or point of sale system, whatever system it is. And the guys on the who work there, the employees, told MCAP, we're not allowed to sell this until the 26th. So that's the street date. And it's like, well, why is it out on the floor? You know, I'm sure people are going to be looking at it, right? But I guess they just put it out on the floor. So this poor guy who's been waiting so long for MK Deluxe, he's like, I'll take it now. I'll take it now. And they're like, no, you got to come back. You got to come back, buddy. You got to come back. When was the last time you heard of a store turning away Arcade1up customers? You got to come back, buddy. Because usually these things have so much dust on them at Walmart or whatever. They're like, come on in. Come grab it.
Dear God, please take it. We need the shelf space.
We need the shelf space. Come grab it. And they're like, no, come back. I feel so bad for MCAP. He's got to go back, and hopefully he'll get it, because I think it was only the one. I think it was only one in the store. But I think that's a great story.
And it has happened. It has happened with some of the earlier on cabinets. They had a release date, and they were in Walmart. So I definitely recall that happening.
So there's a developing story here in the chat as well. Apparently, Console Fanboy is going to go camp out at Best Buy to get his cabinet Sunday morning. I would love to see someone film him as the only human being in existence that's ever camped out for an Arcade1up cab. This has got to be some historical significance behind this.
This is great. The smaller boxes now, if people are like, man, can I fit that in my Kia Soul? Yeah, you can fit this in your Kia Soul.
Kia Soul is huge inside.
That's not a smart car.
Will this fit in my Toyota Sentra? Well, there you go. Well, it will fit in any moving vehicle now. Hell, you could actually put this thing on your handlebars, right, Nostalgia? And just ride your bike home?
Just ride your bike home. That's right.
Hell, you could fit this on your Tony Hawk skateboard, and you can ride it home, build it, and then go play Galaga, because Galaga is our game of the week.
And if you've got a little pony, it can totally carry it too.
All right, I put in the live chat. I said, is anyone buying any of these deluxe cabinets next week? And I didn't see a lot of activity there in the live chat. Guys, wake up!
Well, maybe the reason why is because everybody in the live chat's from Canada, and we're not getting them till late summer. I'm serious. That's not that's not a joke. We're not.
You
getting them
guys
here.
complain about that. There have been times where you guys have gotten cabs before the States.
Very few times. Like
Yeah,
there
it's
was a
like once or
short period of
twice.
time. That's it.
Yeah, we
Oh,
got
twice
we
too
got
many.
Attack from Mars Pinball before you guys, and maybe one other one.
I got my Dragon's Lair 6 months after everybody else got it. That's when we got them here.
All right, here they come now. The live chat woke up. Sometimes you got to yell at them, Mike. Sometimes you got to poke them a little bit and wake them up. Wake them up. Usually they fall asleep when we're talking about Tony Hawk skateboarding.
Waiting on prices. The price point is $4.99, $6.99 in Canada for the deluxe cabs.
So the way I look at it, I had bought the original shark fin Mortal Kombat cabinet. I got the upgraded Costco version. I got the MK Deluxe. And then I got the MK 30th. I've already bought Mortal Kombat 4 times from Arcade1up. Can I do it a 5th time? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. But it does look nice. The deluxe cabinet. I like the way they look. I know some of you love your risers. I get it. All right. You like taking it into 2 pieces, carrying it up and down the stairs. I don't move my arcades around that much, so 1 piece is fine for me.
MG with a Rockstar comment here. That's my Sunday plans right there. Getting up early, go and get McDonald's breakfast. I'll tell you a little secret hint here. What I do
and then not buy anything for Best Buy.
What I do is I get I get a sausage and egg McMuffin combo, but I actually don't eat the hash brown separate. I crack the hash brown in half, put it on top of my sausage McMuffin. I actually get bacon on the sausage McMuffin too. Then I put a little bit of Frank's Red Hot buffalo sauce on top of the hash brown. Mash that together in a sandwich. Magic.
And I don't think you have to get up too early with Best Buy because I don't believe they open until like 10 a.m. So you can get a little sleep on Sunday.
Well, it'll be tough because if you wake up at 12 in the afternoon and go to Best Buy, you'll be the second person there after Zohar.
Galga Guy says, if nostalgia's taught me anything, if you have taken the plunge 4 times, you might as well go for 5. And also, Galga Guy, rumor has it, in the latest poll for Game of the Week, you voted for Tony Hawk. What the hell is wrong with you? We were going to play your game. I like the way the deluxe cabinets look. I've told everyone this. I think they look. I think they're a great change for Arcade1up. You know, makes it look more like a real arcade, but not really. It's just a lot of us who've been around the block. You know,
and P-Dubs, you have been around the block.
A lot of us who've been around the block, like we've bought these cabinets. Some titles 2 times over. Some titles like Mortal Kombat 4 times over. Do I see myself just picking these up when they have the exact same games and all that kinds of stuff? Probably not. If someone put in the chat, but the chat's really flying because you guys are really awesome. Someone had put in there, if they had a different game lineup, it would have been more exciting. And I agree with that. Like if it was MK Deluxe and they got rid of like, you know, Clax and Defender and Paperboy and put like some other stuff on there, it probably would have been more interesting to pick up, right?
Well, here's my point of frustration. Like, there's sometimes Arcade1up say things, and like the blood vessels in my eyes just start popping because they say things like, "Man, we had to put Paperboy on the cabinet because we just can't find any other games to go on it." MK4 is literally like right there, and you're like, and during that video that Cyrus did to advertise the Arcade1up cabs, the 80s infomercial, he's like, we got all the Arcade1up, we got all the Mortal Kombat arcade games, MK1, MK2, MK3, and Ultimate MK3. Like he actually said, we have all the Mortal Kombat arcade games. Get rid of Paperboy, add Mortal Kombat 3, find something else. Just get rid of Paperboy. It's the stupidest thing in the world. And Clax sucks.
I remember when I did my review of the deluxe cabinet, I was like, they added, no, it was MK30th, wasn't it? Yeah, it was MK30th. I was like, and they added Clax, and I was recording gameplay of Clax. I was like, do people really like this game? I really didn't like it. I really didn't. But my wife liked it. My wife liked it because she loves like those puzzle type games, right? Like I didn't like it. She's like, you don't like Clax? I'm like, Clax sucks.
So it's funny that you were talking about how the cabinets look more real. I was telling horror stories Monday night on Chill and Chat with Michael B. Tuesday night, sorry. Horror stories about selling cabs, and I forgot one. So I had one person message me And they actually said, hey, I'm really interested in your Simpsons cab. Can you tell me all the rest of the arcades you have and send me a price list? And he goes, also, if you have any coin operated pool tables or know where to get one, please send them along. And I'll consider buying them. I don't have a lot of money. I'm opening a bar, but really looking to get some coin operated machines. So I didn't know how to respond. I just wrote him back and I said, hey, I apologize, but I think you've got the wrong idea here. These are, basically replica home arcades. And I said, sorry about that. If you're interested in replica home arcades, absolutely, I can send it to you, but these aren't coin operated. Then the guy writes me back and goes, you're lying to me. I see the coin operation slots. I see the coin slots. And I was like, dude, they're faux plastic slots. These aren't coin operated. Why would I lie to you? What is wrong with you?
Oh, man. Too funny.
Well, could look like you dodged a bullet with that, Cat.
My God.
You should have told him to come over anyways.
It's $1,000. Real arcades are $1,000. Here, take it. Stick a quarter in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you
just
cut out the
Dremel
slot.
out a hole.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
By the way, guys, I just want you to know that we actually have a new sponsor on our channel. I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not. One of the reasons I was late is I was securing our new sponsorship deal. So it's a last minute thing, but I wanted to make sure we got the clearance to announce the partnership tonight. So for all of you out there, we're happy to say that this particular company is actually owned by one of the Super Game Room dudes. So big shout out and huge congratulations and a big thank you for sponsoring the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Nostalgia Bananas are now available at your local grocery store. When you walk in, if you see Chiquita, keep on walking and say, hey, bring me to the Nostalgia Bananas. I need a bushel of them. Get your bushels of Nostalgia Bananas today at your local Whole Foods, Fry's, Jewel Osco, Albertsons, Sam's Club, Piggly Wiggly, and even at Menards next to the lumber section. Nostalgia, thanks, man, for supporting the show. We greatly appreciate it, bro.
And they're aged, apparently.
The things I do for you guys.
You couldn't even spell my name correctly.
What are you talking about? It was spelled correctly.
I'm joking.
It was spelled correctly. It was spelled correctly. All right, cool.
But yeah.
I also, Mike, talk about Arcade1up.
It's a company that sells arcade games, mostly from the 90s and mostly fighters. They forgot about the 80s. Let's move on.
Well, is there more news? Isn't there more news? There's usually
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Online came out
Yes.
last week, and we got a Arcade1 update show this past Monday where we really got a lot of detail into what's happening with the game and the experience. A lot of people were really upset. A lot of people are happy with it. It's actually really unique. The way they did this was they had to use a completely different online system than they're using for the rest of their stuff. And if you go into basically when you go in to set your settings, usually you just say, I'm in North America or I'm in Canada. That's usually what you set up. But they actually have you indicate which part of the US you're in. Are you in US East? Are you in US West? Because your experience will greatly change depending on the distance between where you are. So basically, where I'm on an island in Newfoundland right next to the North Pole, I can't play anybody in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because I'm so friggin' far away from everybody. My experience will be horrible.
Yeah, but you no longer own that cabinet, do you?
That's right, I sold it.
So you're a traitor.
Sure.
Yeah. Mike, every time you announced that you sold an Arcade1up cabinet, do you think John D shed a tear?
Maybe, but I didn't announce. I announced to you guys. I didn't announce it publicly. I'm not having a radio.
You didn't announce it publicly? You literally did a live stream a week ago.
Yes, and I said
I'm all my Arcade1ups.
But
You don't
what I'm
think
saying
John
is,
D-
what I'm saying is, I don't.
You know, John
have,
D was weeping.
Well, yeah.
He sold them all. What am I going to do without Mike's videos? You know, John D was having a goddamn stroke watching you sell your Arcade1ups. Come on, Mike.
No, they don't care about me. Like, honestly, man.
You turned your back on everybody, Mike.
No, listen. Honestly, they've got people that they support and work with and stuff like that they're very comfortable with. It doesn't matter whether or not I make videos and do reviews on Arcade1up cabs. They've got people that they like, and they're happy getting the videos out there. So it doesn't really make a difference to them. I don't think it's a blip on their radar.
Yep. All right, guys, I want to share something real quick. I don't know if MCAP is here or not, but just to rub a little bit of salt in the wound, this is the cabinet that got away from MCAP. This is his photo that he took at Best Buy, and he posts this in a Discord saying they won't let me buy it. It was right.
You should have dragged it over to the auto section, over behind the refrigerator.
It's the one that got away. Cool looking.
Oh, cool. That cab has clacks and Paperboy. I mean, they're awesome on that.
But it's got tubing. Who doesn't like tubing?
I do
right?
like tubing. I do freaking like tubing.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Honestly, I talk about like Arcade1up cabs that would bring me back. If Arcade1up did a real tubing with that, retro 70s, 80s waterfall light where it makes it look like the water is actually flowing through it, right back in. I'd be day one, tubing, 3/4 scale cab. Let's effing go.
Yep. Some weirdo named Nostalgia just put this in the live chat. Why couldn't the banana yell high? It could only yell low.
There's been a few banana jokes going on in there. I'm just joining.
Is it just me, or is that box smaller? Yeah, we did talk about that for 10 minutes. We must be thirsty for news if that's
how
the
exactly
conversation.
P-Dubs, how do you think they fit the cabinet into that smaller box? I'm still trying
I don't know. I never made it to calculus or trigonometry. Mike,
I was gonna say, I wish there was some
Mike, you want to walk us through
arithmetic.
again how they took this cabinet and got it in that box?
Yeah, Mike, it used to be this big, and now it's this big.
How?
But I don't understand how it went from this big
That's
to this
because the side panels used to be this big, but now they're this big, so they don't need as much box to fit the smaller side
the
panel
big
pieces.
blue was in the.
No. The big blue still had the side panel that was still the same length as the original 3/4 scale side panels, and then it had the extension piece
these are
as well.
smaller size.
Yes, but it's not sides. Now they're halves. Instead of a side panel, you're getting two halves.
So you're getting a smaller screen?
Yes, that's clearly what I said.
And two halves is bigger than 3/4.
I know what it is. I figured
get
it out. They're only you're only buying the bases, the bottom half. They don't want to upset the community again. They don't want to ship the top half until online is ready in 6 months. So you'll get the top half later.
That's funny.
What is this? What is this? The ALP?
Yes.
That's what it is. That's what it is. They're only shipping you the base. You'll get it in 6 months. Don't worry. Promise us. It's going to be great. All right, cool. That's enough of that. All right. Any other news going on this week, guys? Anything else on the thumbnail we forgot to talk about?
Well, we haven't talked about the Arcade1up Deluxe cabinets are showing up. And apparently they shipped in smaller boxes. So.
But how did they get in the smaller boxes?
That's a great part. Why do we talk about that? Birthday. I'm so curious.
You guys
Sorry, Carl.
Wait, hold on. Carl, I'm sorry, Carl. What were you saying, bud?
I said you guys forgot to wish me a happy birthday. So.
Oh, it's Detroit Love's birthday, guys! Everyone,
you're the
Detroit
birthday. You're the birthday. You're
happy
the birthday, boy or girl.
Birthday. It's D Love's birthday.
Drink.
I want to see 100 happy birthdays in the live chat, guys. This is the glue of our show. This is the glue of our friendship. Carl is the man. I absolutely love this guy. I've loved collaborating and working with you the last couple of years. And, I cannot wait to see you and meet you finally in person in Cleveland. And, the reach arounds are going to be glorious. It's going to be an awesome time in Cleveland. Cleveland rocks. Happy birthday, Carl. Happy birthday, Detroit Love.
All right. Pull the nostalgia.
Wait, why are you big again? Who's
that's
Mike? Stop it, Mike.
I'm not touching anything, brother. No hands.
All right, there we go. He's 58 years old. 58. God, Cuddles Arcade. Go check out Cuddles Arcade and watch his 58 years old video. It's epic. P-Dubs tackles D-Love. I probably could because, you know, Carl, I'm kind of a big guy. You're a little
You
shorter
guys
than
are
me.
all big compared to me. Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Well, nostalgia, not so much. If you know what we're talking about.
Maybe, don't worry. Well, I was worried too because Detroit Love, you know, he's not so tall. He's probably a little shorter than the rest of the guys. I was thinking, like, when we go to the con, so we don't lose you, we'll tie a balloon like to your belt, like have a little balloon hanging up here.
Yeah, like my boy Spidey.
Be like, where's Detroit Love? Oh, the red balloon over there.
Do you know that Carl is the ideal customer for AtGames? He's at just the right height to enjoy their products.
Why? Because of the lower control panel?
Yeah. And pinball
Nice,
machine.
Nice, Mike. No, some of us are really, really tall.
That's why I still like my what's this pinball I have over here, P-Dubs? You debuted this. What's the
Toy Shock?
original? Toy Shock, yeah.
Toy
That's why
Shark.
it's
Yeah.
perfect size.
See,
You guys are all soldiers quick because it's too short for you.
you guys all say I'm short, but I'm 7'3". Now, keep in mind that's Canadian, so when you do the conversion, I'm 5'11".
Nostalgia, how tall are you again?
6 feet.
He's not.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I swear
Look.
to God, I am.
He wears
Look.
lifts. He wears lifts.
Not
You're
wear
6
lift.
feet. You're 6 feet with heels on.
I'm 6 feet flat-footed on
right.
the ground.
All right,
He
let
wears
me tell you
lifts and eyeshadow.
Mike, you met Nostalgia recently. Where was it? Toronto, right?
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Ontario,
In
Canada.
Ottawa. They met at an event and they even called in live to the Super Gamer Engine show. You guys remember that, right? Did you guys see that when Nostalgia walked up to Michael B, when Michael B had the camera here? You had like these go-go boots on, man. Like we're talking like
They were pumps, P-Dubs.
4-inch
pumps.
4-inch heels. 4-inch
Nostalgia wears 4-inch heels, and they're the clear glass one with the fish swimming in them.
The fish has been dead since the 70s, though. So
Anyway, guys, it's great to be back to having fun again. Like, we get so caught up in the madness of this hobby. We get so obsessed and so critical and hypersensitive and things like that. Guys, these are video games. These are arcade games. A lot of us grew up with these games. We get to enjoy them again. Yes, these companies need to make sure they give us our money's worth, and we will continue to hold them accountable and do that. But also, guys, let's remember, let's have fun. That's what this community is all about. I've had a really fun show tonight. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. Guys, that's all I got. You guys got anything else? I got to go downstairs back in the garage. I'm feeling really energetic right now.
Hands up from the crew. Whose favorite part of the show here was when it was just three of us?
actually, no. My favorite part was when we were talking about the Arcade1up
Oh, the boxes.
deluxe. Yeah, because I still don't understand how they went and got smaller.
Smaller boxes. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's like the Tootsie Roll thing. How many licks?
Right. It doesn't make any sense. But I think you said they get now smaller screens, and you only get one controller, which makes sense because they're going to have to fit it into a smaller box.
Well, and you gotta have your own screws. They don't provide the screws anymore.
Right. It's also made of paper. Right. So it's folded. You can just unfold it, put it together.
Carl, whenever you're ready, send them on their way.
You got to super chat first.
$3 super chat from the Jan Man. What's it say? Sheba Dog move his arms saying goodbye.
It's one of those emoji things.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
All right, guys.
You
Thanks
described
for
it quite
watching. Our motto for this year is to fight less and play more. And until next time, play some Galaga, and we'll see you on the web.
How did they get it in that fucking box?
I don't know. It's magic. It's magic.